I'm Andrew Teo, and I'm in no way connected to any opposition party. But tonight, I was reminded by my wife to tone down on the way I ask questions. Because the previous dialogues were closed doors. Today is, media covered. So, and in no way was I influenced by Amos Yee. I was born before him, remember?
We couldn't tell.
How nice, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, seriously, I have 3 young kids. We have 3 young kids. And I love my country very much. So that's why I have to speak up. Tonight I came with a very heavy heart. Pardon me for reading straight from this, if not I'll forget.
Is that from your wife?
From my reading straight.
Yeah, go ahead.
About 10 years ago, I asked my MP about foreign talents infiltrating all levels and across sectors. 10 years ago, I already saw that coming. And in the small bomb shelter underneath Telok Blangah CC, the audience, 300 of them literally, pardon my pun, literally exploded into an applause. A few years later, I noticed that things got worse, so I attended another public dialogue. Soon after, I was taken out of the mailing list. I was never invited to such public dialogues anymore. So I told myself, tonight I must grab this chance and speak up. At least the NUSS is fair. Every time, year and year, I speak against the government, I'm re-invited, Early registration was given.
But this may be the last year, no? Can you remember what I said about no speeches? Yeah. No, okay, but time is running out. Okay. Could you get to the question, please? Yeah.
A union organization, I think it's the NTUC or what, said that we have 300,000 PMEs displaced from their jobs. Okay, and they only managed to help about 60,000. It was in the news last month. Channel 5, Channel 8 and all that. We have a lost generation. If you go around the coffee shops and hawker centers, you see men literally in short slippers and shorts and t-shirt, unemployed. All right, and I know many people or are acquainted to people in the 40s and 50s who used to earn a good income. Now they are hired to be cooks, waiters and bartenders, F&B. And our government announced there are 200 fresh graduates from the Hawker Academy. I can't believe that. We used to aspire to be lawyers, gynecologists and all that. Now we are hawkers.
Okay, is there a question somewhere?
No, I have to.
No, but you really have to ask your question.
I will.
How long further down?
3 more sentences. You allow.
Okay, 3 more. 3 more sentences. Okay.
All right. Will the government please tell me, not just by slowing down FT intakes, retrain PMEs, giving away grants to employers that hire Singaporeans over 50, etc. Will the government please promise us, this GE, that Singaporeans will be given jobs first and not allow hirers to hire foreigners that are basically cheaper than us? And one last thing, this is the 3rd sentence. Although I may not agree with GSE, I like to say this. I've spoken to many grassroots leaders that in fact, the very thing that our government embraces, which is the FTs, foreigners, new citizens, all of that, could be their greatest threat, because when the time is right, when they grow big enough, they will push their rights and form their own political parties. Thank you.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Can I go back to seat?
I think you should.
Mr. Could I respond?
Yes, please, Gerald.
Okay, I think one of the many things I learned in the past 4 years in Parliament, and I think a lot of my colleagues from Workers' Party in Parliament as well have learned, is that there are no easy solutions, and sometimes it's very easy to be able to come up with an idea, but when you actually dive into the trade-offs that are needed, it becomes a lot harder. So that's why it's very important for people to be able to choose a party, choose candidates, MPs who are willing to really dive into the issue, dive into the details of the issue. Because it's very easy to just say that, oh, this is my solution, and if only you do this, everything will be solved. There's no policy that can be solved so easily. If it was so easy, the government would have done it long ago, and they would have not lost so much support from the people. But it requires really detailed analysis, prodding away at the government, asking questions. I think in the past 4 years, the Workers' Party MPs, we have asked literally hundreds of questions in Parliament. We've made many, many speeches recommending policy proposals. At times, like in the case of the population white paper debate, we have opposed the paper and come up with our own proposal and said that, no, we're not aiming for 6.9 million. We're not having a planning parameter of 6.9 million, but we're saying that limit it to 5.8 million, and we can do it. Here's our plan how we can do it. With regards to that specific question about foreigners displacing Singaporeans, I think this is a very challenging issue for everybody to deal with, and it's very easy to say just get rid of the foreigners, but we also understand that employers have real constraints that they have, and that's why it's important for the government to step in to really help industries, companies, individual companies, especially SMEs, to be able to really improve their productivity. Well, what is the record of productivity growth in the past 4 years? It's been either flat or negative. Last year it was 0.8% negative. How many more years are we going to have this flat or negative productivity growth? Just yesterday in Parliament, I asked a question about how many, and this I'm just using this to illustrate how important it is to really dive into the details of the issue. I asked how many employment pass applications had been approved within 7 days of the mandatory 2-week advertisement period on the Jobs Bank. The answer came back, 260 EP applications per week. That is 13,520 EP applications per year, going by that average. So I think these are real issues that we really need to study, understand why is it. It's not just about saying, okay, let's not issue any more EPs anymore. But we have to ask ourselves, why does the government see a need to issue so many EPs? Why are companies demanding so many or requiring so many foreigners instead of having locals? I think we need to invest a whole lot more in Singaporeans, upgrade their skills, and give them a sense of passion for their work, a sense of belonging to the country, so that they will be more productive, so that they will be more inspired, they will be willing to strive and progress up the ladder in their companies.
Right.
And be able to,
Thank you.
Be able to provide that resource.
Can I add to that?
Hold on. Harminder wants to say something. Are you done?
I'm done.
Okay, thank you. Harminder, yes.
Can I just pick up from what he just said? And it is very crucial. The gentleman asked the question, will the government promise us, notice the words, will the government promise us that priority will be given to Singaporeans, something along those lines? Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to bring the focus back to the people of Singapore. Democracy, I've always been told, is the rule of the people, by the people, for the people. Let us not wait for a promise from the government, because the issues that were raised 4 years ago and the issues we are still fighting about this time will be still there in another 10, 15 elections time, unless the people of Singapore say enough is enough and we take action. That is, to me, I think the most important thing. Politicians can come. We will be here, but I also want the third leg, not just the government, not just opposition, but people of Singapore. Are you also ready for a change? You need to ask yourself. SDA will always fight. We are against the 6.9, not because of economic issues. That is important, but the infrastructure is not ready. And why complain all the time? Maybe you need to support now the rest of us opposition. Put us in power, because until and unless... No, I'm serious.
Mr. Chairman, could I jump in, please?
I end up with the last sentence. And unless we are in power, nothing will actually change. It will be theoretical debates every 4 years. Why? Until I'm old man, white hair, and I will still be talking about the same issues. We need your help. Singaporeans, This election, make a change. Vote for us. We promise you, we will fight that your CPF comes back at 55. 6.9 million and many other issues will be changed, but we can't do it alone. We need every Singaporean support us. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, can I step in, Mr. Chairman?
Your hair is already white.